Denise and Thomas Rossi had been married for 25 years, but by the mid-1990s, their relationship was crumbling. Like many long-term couples, they had faced financial struggles, disagreements, and growing emotional distance. However, what happened next would turn their divorce into one of the most infamous cases of lottery deception in legal history. Denise wanted out of the marriage, but she had a secret one that would soon unravel in the most dramatic way possible. On December 28, 1996, Denise Rossi stopped at a convenience store in Sun Valley, California, and purchased a California Lottery Fantasy 5 inches ticket. The numbers she chose 6, 12, 18, 25, 31 would soon make her an instant millionaire. When the numbers were drawn, Denise discovered she had won the jackpot, $1.3 million. Instead of celebrating with her husband, she made a calculated decision she would keep the win a secret. Rather than telling Thomas, Denise took steps to ensure he never found out. She directed all lottery-related mail to her mother's address to avoid suspicion. She arranged for the winnings to be paid in annual installments of approximately $66,000 over 20 years, making the payments less conspicuous than a lump sum. 11 days after winning, she filed for divorce. Thomas, unaware of the lottery windfall, agreed to an uncontested divorce. The settlement was finalized in March 1997, with Denise keeping all her personal assets, a clause she believed would protect her secret. For nearly 2 years, Denise thought she had gotten away with her scheme. But in 1999, fate intervened in the most unexpected way. Thomas, now living in a modest apartment after financial struggles, received a piece of mail, a solicitation letter from a financial company offering to buy out lottery annuities for lump sums. The letter was addressed to Denise Rossi, but it had been sent to his address by mistake. What lottery winnings? Thomas was stunned. He had no idea his ex-wife had won $1.3 million just before their divorce. Realizing she had hidden a marital asset, he took legal action. Thomas sued Denise for concealing the lottery winnings during divorce proceedings. Under California law, all assets acquired during marriage are considered community property, meaning the lottery win should have been split 50-50. Denise argued that the ticket was purchased with her own money, not joint funds, and that she had won after deciding to divorce, so it wasn't marital property. But the judge wasn't convinced. Evidence showed the ticket was bought while they were still legally married. She actively hid the winnings by rerouting mail and failing to disclose them in court. In a stunning decision, the judge ruled that Denise had committed fraud by concealment and ordered 100% of the remaining lottery payments would go to Thomas and Denise would get nothing. She was also ordered to pay his legal fees. Denise lost everything. He used the money to stabilize his finances, later joking, "I won the lottery, just not the way most people do." The case became famous, with legal experts citing it as a textbook example of divorce fraud. Denise faced public humiliation as the story spread nationwide. Legal analysts noted that if she had simply disclosed the win, she would have kept half. Instead, her greed cost her everything. The rise of E.L. James. The story of E.L. James, real name Erica Leonard, is one of the most remarkable literary success stories of the 21st century. Her 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, which began as Twilight fanfiction, became a global phenomenon, selling over 150 million copies worldwide and spawning a blockbuster movie franchise. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a lesser-known narrative: James's divorce from her husband, Niall Leonard, just before her meteoric rise to fame. While their split wasn't acrimonious, the timing of her success has led to speculation about whether her ex-husband ever regretted underestimating her creative potential. Erica Leonard met Niall Leonard in the early 1990s at the University of Kent in England. Both were creative individuals. Erica studied history, while Niall pursued a degree in drama and theater arts. They bonded over their shared love of storytelling and married. For years, their marriage appeared stable. Niall worked as a screenwriter, penning scripts for British television shows, while Erica worked as a TV executive for the National Film and Television School. They had 2 sons together and seemed to be building a life rooted in mutual respect and shared interests. In the mid-2000s, Erica began writing fanfiction as a creative outlet. She was a fan of Twilight, Stephenie Meyer's vampire romance series, and started crafting her own stories under the pseudonym Snow Queen's Ice Dragon. Her work gained a small but dedicated following online, and she eventually decided to rework one of her fanfiction stories into an original novel. In 2012, just as Erica was preparing to self-publish 50 Shades of Grey, she and Niall announced their divorce. The split was amicable, with both parties citing irreconcilable differences. However, rumors began to swirl about whether Niall had supported Erica's writing ambitions. According to sources close to the couple, Niall viewed Erica's fanfiction as a hobby, rather than a serious pursuit. He reportedly encouraged her to focus on her career in television rather than spend hours writing stories that, in his opinion, would never amount to anything. The timing of the divorce just before the release of 50 Shades of Grey raised eyebrows. Some speculated that Niall had underestimated Erica's potential, while others believed the couple had simply grown apart. Erica eventually self-published 50 Shades of Grey as an e-book and print-on-demand paperback. The book quickly gained traction, thanks in part to its provocative subject matter and word-of-mouth buzz. By early 2012, it had become a cultural phenomenon, topping bestseller lists and sparking debates about its portrayal of BDSM relationships. The success of 50 Shades of Grey was unprecedented. It sold over 150 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling book series of all time. The trilogy was translated into 52 languages, and the film adaptation grossed over $1.3 billion at the box office. Erica, now known as Elle James, became a household name, her face splashed across magazines and talk shows. She was suddenly worth hundreds of millions of dollars, a far cry from her days as a TV executive writing fanfiction in her spare time. Niall Leonard, who remained in the entertainment industry as a screenwriter, was reportedly stunned by Erica's success. While he never publicly expressed regret over their divorce, sources close to him claimed he was shocked by the scale of her achievements. In interviews, Niall was careful to avoid discussing 50 Shades of Grey in detail, but he did praise Erica's work ethic and determination. "She's always been a hard worker," he said in a rare statement. "I'm happy for her success." However, British tabloids speculated that Niall may have privately regretted dismissing Erica's writing ambitions. One source claimed he was kicking himself for not recognizing the potential of her work sooner. Elle James continued to thrive after the success of 50 Shades of Grey. She published The Mister, a standalone romance novel, in 2019, and remained a prominent figure in the literary world. Niall Leonard, meanwhile, focused on his career as a screenwriter and novelist. He published Crusher, a young adult thriller, in 2012 and continued to work on various television projects. Despite their divorce, Erica and Niall maintained a cordial relationship, co-parenting their 2 sons and occasionally attending family events together. For Niall, the experience may have been a humbling one, a lesson in the dangers of dismissing a partner's passions. For Erica, it was a triumph, proving that she could achieve greatness on her own terms. While Niall may never publicly admit to regretting their split, the sheer scale of Erica's success speaks for itself. It's a reminder that life's greatest achievements may come from the most unexpected places, and that underestimating someone's potential can lead to missed opportunities.